Welcome to Quick Book, where we're diving into a transformative audiobook summary of Who Moved My Cheese? By Spencer Johnson. If you've ever felt stuck in a rut, overwhelmed by change, or unsure how to navigate life's unexpected twists, this book is your guide to breaking free and thriving. This isn't just a story, it's a powerful parable that reveals profound truths about adapting to change, overcoming fear, and finding success in an ever-shifting world. Who Moved My Cheese? A global bestseller that's helped millions embrace change with courage and clarity. This isn't about passive listening, it's a conversation with the part of you that's ready to grow, adapt, and seize new opportunities. Whether you're facing a career shift, a personal transition, or just want to be more resilient, these insights will light the way. Picture this: you're in a maze, chasing something you value, maybe a job, a relationship, or a sense of security. Suddenly, the path changes, and what you relied on is gone. Do you freeze, fight, or forge ahead? Who Moved My Cheese? Is a simple yet profound tale of four characters navigating that maze, each representing a part of us. Through their journey, Spencer Johnson shows us how to let go of what's lost, embrace the unknown, and find new cheese, a metaphor for whatever brings you success and happiness. Let's set the stage. Imagine your life as a maze, full of twists, dead ends, and hidden rewards. The cheese is your goal, stability, love, achievement, but the maze keeps changing. Jobs disappear, relationships evolve, markets shift. How you respond to those changes defines your path. Over the next 2 hours, we'll explore the book's core lessons through the stories of Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw, diving into their mindsets, struggles, and triumphs. We'll break down the psychology of change, share relatable stories, offer practical exercises, and pause for reflection to make these ideas stick. Why does this matter? Change is the one constant in life, and your ability to adapt determines your success and peace. As Spencer Johnson writes, if you do not change, you can become extinct. Psychologically, embracing change activates your brain's neuroplasticity, rewiring it for resilience, as shown in studies by neuroscientist Norman Doidge. By engaging with this summary, you're training your mind to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to join our community for more life-changing summaries. And let's make this personal. Drop a comment below. What's one change you're facing right now, and how do you feel about it? Maybe it's a new job, a move, or a personal shift. I'm eager to hear your story, and I'll be reading every comment. So, grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's start navigating the maze together. Part 1, The Parable and its core message: change is inevitable. Let's dive into the heart of Who Moved My Cheese, the parable itself and its central message: change is inevitable, and how you respond to it shapes your life. Spencer Johnson tells a deceptively simple story about four characters living in a maze, searching for cheese, which represents anything you value: success, happiness, security, love. The characters are two mice, Sniff and Scurry, and two little people, Hem and Haw, each embodying different ways we handle change. The story begins in a maze where the four characters find a cheese station C, filled with an abundance of cheese. For a while, life is perfect. Sniff and Scurry, with their simple instincts, visit the station daily, always ready to move on if needed. Hem and Haw, more human-like, get comfortable, building their lives around the cheese, assuming it'll always be there. But one day, the cheese disappears. The rest of the story follows how each character responds, revealing profound lessons about adaptability, fear, and growth. Deep dive. The maze symbolizes life, complex, unpredictable, full of opportunities and dead ends. The cheese is your personal goal, whether it's a stable job, a loving relationship, or inner peace. The disappearance of the cheese represents change, layoffs, breakups, market shifts, aging. Psychologically, change triggers the amygdala's fight-or-flight response, as shown in research by neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux, making us resist or deny it. Johnson's parable counters this by showing that adaptability is a choice, rooted in mindset and action. Real-world example, I know a woman, Sarah, who worked at a retail chain for 15 years. Her cheese was job security, steady pay, familiar routines. When the company downsized, her cheese vanished. Like him, she initially resisted, blaming management. But inspired by this book, she shifted to Haas mindset, retraining as a virtual assistant. Today, she works remotely, earning more and loving her flexibility. The change was inevitable, her response wasn't. Story, consider Kodak, once a giant in photography. Their cheese was film, but digital cameras emerged. Kodak resisted, clinging to the old cheese, and went bankrupt. Meanwhile, companies like Canon adapted, embracing digital technology. The lesson? Clinging to what was can lead to extinction, while adapting opens new paths. Practical tip, create a change inventory this week. Write down one recent change in your life, e.g., a job shift, a personal loss. Note how you've responded: denial, anger, action. Then list 3 actions you can take to adapt, like learning a skill, seeking support, or exploring a new opportunity. Review it daily to shift your mindset from resistance to proactivity. Reflection pause, what's one change you're facing, and how are you responding to it right now? Key takeaway, change is inevitable. Accepting it as part of life empowers you to navigate the maze with resilience. Part 2, the characters, for responses to change. Now let's meet the 4 characters, Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw, who represent different parts of ourselves when faced with change. Each has a unique response to the disappearance of the cheese, offering lessons on adaptability, fear, and growth. By understanding them, you'll see your own patterns and learn how to choose a better path. Sniff is a mouse who sniffs out change early. He's alert, always sensing shifts in the environment. When the cheese starts dwindling, he notices and prepares to move. Sniff represents the proactive, forward-thinking part of us that anticipates change and acts quickly. Scurry, the other mouse, is action-oriented. When the cheese vanishes, he doesn't overthink, he scurries into the maze to find new cheese. Scurry embodies the instinct to act swiftly, trusting that movement will lead to solutions. Hem, a little person, resists change fiercely. When the cheese disappears, he's angry, blaming others and insisting the cheese will return. Hem represents our fear-driven, stubborn side that clings to the past, refusing to adapt. Haw, the other little person, starts like Hem, paralyzed by fear and denial. But over time, he learns to laugh at his resistance, let go, and venture into the maze. Haw symbolizes our capacity to grow, adapt, and find new opportunities through courage. Deep dive, each character reflects a psychological response to change, rooted in the Kubler-Ross change curve. Sniff and Scurry bypass denial, moving to acceptance and action, aligning with proactive coping mechanisms studied by psychologist Richard Lazarus. Hem's resistance mirrors denial and anger, driven by loss aversion, as shown in research by Daniel Kahneman. Haw's journey reflects the transition from bargaining to exploration, a process of cognitive restructuring that builds resilience. Real-world example, my friend, Tom, faced a career change when his industry automated his role. At first, he was like Hem, bitter and stuck, saying, "This shouldn't be happening." But he shifted to Haw, researching new fields and taking coding classes. Now he's a software developer, happier than ever. His shift from resistance to exploration mirrored Haw's arc. Story, think of Netflix versus Blockbuster. Blockbuster was Hem, clinging to physical rentals despite digital streaming's rise. Netflix was Sniff and Scurry, sensing change and acting fast to pivot to streaming. Blockbuster went bankrupt, Netflix became a titan. Which character are you when change hits? Practical tip, do a character self-assessment this week. For a recent change, ask, am I Sniff, anticipating, Scurry, acting, Hem, resisting, or Haw, learning? If you're Hem, write down one fear holding you back and one action to move forward, like ha, e.g., I fear job loss, I'll update my resume. If you're sniff or scurry, strengthen your approach by planning one proactive step, like networking. Reflect daily to shift toward Haas growth mindset. Case study: Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, was like Hall. She faced rejection selling her idea door-to-door but laughed at setbacks, learned from no's, and kept pitching. Her adaptability turned $5,000 into a billion-dollar brand. What can you learn from her Hall-like resilience? Reflection pause: which character do you relate to most in a recent change, and why? Key takeaway: you have all four characters within you. Choose to be sniff, scurry, or haw to adapt and thrive. Part 3, Key Lessons, Adapting to Change. Now let's distill the key lessons from Who Moved My Cheese into actionable principles for navigating change. These lessons, drawn from the characters' journeys, are universal truths about adaptability, fear, and opportunity, backed by psychology and real-world applications. Lesson 1: Anticipate change, Sniff's wisdom. Sniff teaches us to stay alert for signs of change. The cheese doesn't disappear overnight, it dwindles gradually. In life, jobs show signs of instability, relationships shift subtly, health declines slowly. Anticipating change reduces shock and prepares you to act. Example: my cousin, Lisa, worked in publishing. She noticed digital trends early, like Sniff, and took online courses in digital media. When her company downsized, she transitioned to a content creator role seamlessly. Her foresight paid off. Practical tip: create a change radar list. Identify one area of your life, e.g., career, health, and note signs of change, e.g., industry trends, fatigue. Plan one proactive step, like researching or consulting an expert, and act this week. Lesson 2: Act quickly, Scurry's action. Scurry shows that speed matters. When change hits, overthinking delays progress. Action, even imperfect, keeps you moving toward new cheese. Psychologically, action reduces anxiety by engaging the brain's problem-solving centers, as shown in studies by neuroscientist Amy Arnson. Example: when my friend, Alex, lost his retail job, he didn't wait, he applied to 10 jobs daily, like Scurry. Within weeks, he landed a better role. His swift action beat others' hesitation. Practical tip: pick one change and take one action today. Apply for a job, join a gym, call a friend. Set a 24-hour deadline to avoid overthinking. Track your action to build momentum. Lesson 3: Let go of the past, Haas growth. Hall learns to release old cheese. Clinging to what was, past jobs, relationships, identities, blocks new opportunities. Letting go involves grieving but also embracing the future, a process akin to acceptance in Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's stages of grief. Example: after a breakup, my friend, Maria, was like him, obsessing over what was. Reading this book, she became Haw, journaling her fears and joining a hiking group. She found new friends and peace by letting go. Practical tip: write a letting go letter to something you're clinging to, a lost job, a past dream. Acknowledge the pain, then list 3 new possibilities, e.g., a new career path. Burn or store the letter, and take one step toward a possibility this week. Lesson 4: Overcome fear, Haas courage. Haas' fear of the unknown keeps him stuck, but he learns to laugh at it, reducing its power. Fear is a survival instinct, but chronic fear, as studied by psychologist Susan Jeffers, paralyzes growth. Facing it builds confidence. Example: I feared public speaking, like Hall. Inspired by this book, I joined a speaking club, starting small. Each talk reduced my fear, and now I present confidently. Action starved the fear. Practical tip: identify one fear tied to a change. Do a fear-busting exercise, write the worst-case scenario, e.g., I'll fail, then list 3 ways to recover, e.g., I'll learn and try again. Take one small action to face it, like pitching an idea. Reflection pause, which lesson resonates most, and how can you apply it to a current change? Key takeaway, anticipate change, act quickly, let go, and face fear to find new cheese. Part 4, Applying the Lessons, Practical Strategies for Change. Now let's bring the lessons to life with practical strategies to apply Who Moved My Cheese in your daily life. These tools, inspired by the parable, will help you navigate personal, professional, and emotional changes with confidence and clarity, grounded in psychology and real-world success. Strategy 1, Build a change-ready mindset. A growth mindset, as studied by Carol Dweck, sees change as a chance to learn. Practice daily affirmations like, "I adapt to change with ease," to rewire your brain for resilience. Journal about past changes you've overcome to build confidence. Example, my colleague, Jake, used affirmations after a company merger. He repeated, "I thrive in new environments," and journaled past successes. It helped him excel in his new role. Practical tip, write one change-ready affirmation and say it daily for a week. Journal one past change you navigated successfully to boost confidence. Notice how your mindset shifts. Strategy 2, create a change action plan. Like scurry, act fast with a plan. Break a change into steps, identify the loss, assess options, set a goal, take action. This aligns with goal-directed behavior, activating the brain's prefrontal cortex, as studied by Antonio Damasio. Example, when my friend, Priya, faced a rent increase, she planned, acknowledged the stress, researched cheaper areas, set a moving goal, and visited apartments. She moved within a month, stress-free. Practical tip, for one change, create a 4-step plan: loss, e.g., job loss; options, e.g., new fields; goal, e.g., new job by June; action, e.g., apply daily. Take one step today. Strategy 3, reframe fear as excitement. Pause laughter at fear reduces its grip. Neuroscience shows fear and excitement share similar arousal states, per researcher Alison Wood Brooks. Reframe fear as excitement to shift your energy. Example, I reframed fear of a new project as excitement for growth. Saying, "This is my chance to shine," made me dive in eagerly, delivering my best work. Practical tip, next time fear hits, say, "I'm excited to grow," and take one action, e.g., send an email. Practice this 3 times this week to rewire your response. Strategy 4, build a support network. Change is easier with allies. Surround yourself with sniff and scurry-like people who embrace change, as social contagion theory by Nicholas Christakis shows peers influence behavior. Example, my friend, Emma, joined a career transition group after a layoff. Their proactive mindset inspired her to retrain, landing a dream job. Practical tip, connect with one change-ready person this week, join a group, message a mentor. Share your change and ask for one tip. Meet weekly to stay motivated. Reflection pause, which strategy will you try first, and how will it help you adapt? Key takeaway, practical strategies turn lessons into action. Build a mindset, plan, reframe fear, and seek support to thrive in change. We've just navigated the transformative maze of Who Moved My Cheese? By Spencer Johnson, a parable that's as simple as it is profound. Let's recap the journey and arm you with a final toolkit to embrace change in your life. Recap of key themes. Part 1, change is inevitable, the cheese will move, jobs, relationships, health, but accepting change as part of life empowers you to adapt. Part 2, the characters, sniff anticipates, scurry acts, hem resists, haw grows. You have all 4 within you, choose the adaptive ones. Part 3, key lessons, anticipate change, act quickly, let go of the past, and overcome fear to find new cheese. Part 4, practical strategies, build a change-ready mindset, create action plans, reframe fear, and lean on a support network. The heart of Spencer Johnson's message is this: change is not your enemy, it's your opportunity. As he writes, the quickest way to change is to laugh at your own folly, then you can let go and quickly move on. Psychologically, this aligns with cognitive behavioral therapy, which emphasizes reframing thoughts to shift behavior, as studied by Aaron Beck. By embracing change, you activate your brain's capacity for growth, resilience, and joy. Final story, let's look at Steve Jobs, who was fired from Apple, his cheese. Like him, he could have resisted, but he became founding Pixar and Next, learning and growing. When he returned to Apple, he revolutionized technology. His adaptability turned loss into legend. What's your next chapter? Final practical toolkit. Daily change check-in. Spend 5 minutes each morning noting one change you're facing and one action to adapt, e.g., job uncertainty, I'll network today. This builds proactivity. Cheese vision board. Create a visual of your new cheese, a dream job, a healthy body, a vibrant relationship. Place it where you see it daily to stay motivated. Change journal. Write weekly about a change, your response, and one lesson learned. Over time, this tracks your growth and builds resilience. Accountability partner. Share your change journey with a friend or group. Meet weekly to discuss progress and setbacks, keeping you on track. Reflect on these questions. What's one change you're ready to embrace, and why? Which character, sniff, scurry, hem, or haw, will you channel this week? What new cheese are you chasing, and what's one step you'll take today? If this summary sparks something in you, grab the full book. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone navigating their own maze. Drop a comment with the change you're facing, the lesson you're applying, or the action you're taking. I'll be reading and cheering you on. Thank you for spending times with me in this maze of change. Your new cheese is out there, waiting. Laugh at your fears, take a step, and go find it. Until next time, keep adapting, keep growing, and keep chasing your cheese.